Hi, welcome to day 29 of Das Asmacha, Getting to Know Yourself. I wanted to speak about balance today. Notice the picture, perfectly balanced. When we're speaking about unifying with others, from our soul to their soul, from who we really are to who they really are, we have to talk about balance because sometimes, oh, what happened here again? I don't know how to get my phone off of my computer. I'm sorry to tell you. So that's why we are sometimes interrupted. Sometimes we have to also protect ourselves. So because there could be people that are so identified with their externalities and they don't know who they really are. Now, even though we know who they really are, that doesn't mean we have to put ourselves in positions to hang around with them or introduce them into our family life. So if we see people that are mean or unkind and it wouldn't be good to bring them into our family life, we don't have to bring them into our family life. But what do we do with people like that? So here we are. They are in our life in some way, but they're completely unconscious and disconnected from who they are. How do we deal with people like that? So what Rav Schwartz says in chapter 9 is we have to be able to two things: access our inner self by coming to a quiet space and experiencing that inner self. And some people do that through meditating. Some people do that through running. Like I know a lot of joggers that they love to run and they feel like they get really quiet inside. Well, there's many different ways that a person might be able to come to that experience, that inner world. And what he calls it is the world of alone. And conversely, then sometimes we have to go out to the world of connection where we're connecting with others. And then we learn to balance the two. Because if there's somebody in your life that you have to connect with and you know who they really are, but they don't know who they really are, and they're not connecting from that space with you, you're going to be able to then tap back into that world of alone and from that space get clarity of what's needed in this moment. For instance, yesterday I was speaking with somebody who really isn't conscious of who they really are, unfortunately, and I had to speak with them. So what I did was I went back to who I really am. I went to that world of alone, and then I listened from that space to what they were saying. So I didn't react to any of the stuff that I saw very clearly wasn't truth, wasn't who they really are. I just listened. And then I just spoke from my space of who I really am. And whether they heard or didn't hear, it didn't matter because there was no fight to be had. I think they would have liked perhaps to rile me up and get me upset about something. I don't know, because I didn't go there. I just stayed in my inner world. Even though I was connecting with another, sometimes in this balance of connection with other and connection with self, we have to go inward to self in order to sort of protect ourselves from a person who's unconscious, and at the same time connect deeper to that person beyond what they can understand. I hope this makes some sort of sense, but that's what balance would sort of look like. Now, let's say balancing with somebody who, connecting with somebody who's totally healthy and knows who they are. So then it's so easy to just be who you are and not have to necessarily go to that world of alone first and quiet to get to an understanding of how to connect with that person. Because like immediately, I met somebody once, immediately I could just be completely who I was. I didn't even have to like introduce my whole background or say what my future plans are. In the here and now, I was who I am, and there was no question. She got it because she was existing from who she is, who she really is. Now, even when we are connecting with others in that space of total connection, there still needs to be times in balance where you come back to the world of alone, the world of it's just you and Hashem. And it's funny because yesterday I had cleaning help, Baruch Hashem, and she wants to stay extra to help me more. And I needed a world of alone. I needed to be totally with nobody in my house, just alone by myself. So I'm like, no, I don't want any more help. She's like, what do you mean? But you need this. I'm like, nope, I like it. Thank you so much. Goodbye. She probably thinks it had something to do with the money, but it didn't have to do with that. It had to do with, I love alone space. I'd rather live in a little bit of a mess and have some alone space than have busyness around me all the time and people around me all the time. So everyone has to know themselves and know what they need for, I have to decompress in order for more people to come back into the house. So then I'll be ready for all the sensations. I find there's an overwhelming amount of sensations happening to me when there's tons of people around, and it's hard for me to process it all. And to process my emotions and to get quickly back to this world of alone, to know what's needed in each space. So for me, I have to go to that space of alone probably more often than some of you would need to go to it. And it's just self-knowledge and knowing what you need. So I hope that was clear about the world of alone and connecting to that space and the world of others, and how to do it with people that aren't necessarily people that you want to connect with, but you're there and you have no choice. So what do you do? And people that you do love to connect with, but sometimes still you need alone space. And maybe you don't feel like you need alone space, but trust me when I tell you, take that alone space, because you do need it. It's absolutely essential for us to be able to come to that quiet space, to live from that state of consciousness rather than from a state of reactivity and unconsciousness. So I hope that was clear, and thank you so much for listening. Amir Hashem, more tomorrow.